I wish to welcome everybody to my meditation class. Basically, it's a class after meditating. Meditating is simply the act of sitting quietly with your eyes closed in a silent room. I don't particularly teach any style in the sense of that you have to sit on cushions, and the way that I look at it is you can sit any way you like. It's a way of finding kind of quietness around you, and it's as simple as that. But it is also like a key in a lock that this process unlocks a lot of things. And this is the process that I am encouraging through meditation. Almost that meditation is a type of therapy which leads to a peaceful state of mind. The Buddha taught meditation for that purpose, to bring people's minds to a state of peacefulness. That was what he was searching for originally. He was conflicted by how he looked at the world, and he found through meditation and through examination in that way, he found a way of seeing the world where in a way that he was not conflicted any longer. And so the way meditation helps us with this is I guess it helps us by listening. If we may close our eyes and listen. And when I meditate, I don't use music in the background for this reason. We listen to how quiet it is. How quiet it is. And then we remember, or we tell ourselves, we comfort ourselves and say, I'm full. I need no food. I am comfortable and warm. I need nothing in this seated position. I'm sitting in a silent room and I need nothing. But it doesn't stop there, does it? Because we do need things. The mind keeps coming up with more and more things that it needs. And this is partly what the Buddha was trying to show people. He was putting us in a physical place where it was completely quiet. We were completely safe. We were completely at ease physically. And yet the mind, or this conscious part of us that won't be quiet, is not satisfied with the things that satisfy us physically. In a sense that we can survive, we are fine physically, but the mind is not fine. Right? The mind needs more than what we need to physically survive. Right? When the mind needs the same amount of things that we need to sit and meditate, simply to eat and to have sleep, right? To have a simple life. When the mind needs only those things, the mind will be silent when we meditate, right? The mind is not silent because it is needy. That's basically what it comes down to, right? And when I say needy, people say needy, I'm embarrassed, I'm needy. Neediness, we're born needy. We're born needy, right? And it's almost taught to us in a sense, We're a baby, right? We're lying there. We're born. We have nothing, no responsibility here about what happened. We're lying there, and when we are hungry, we start to cry, right? And then we get food, and we stop crying. And then we wet our diapers, and then we start crying, right? And then we change that, and we're fine. And so we start to get this frame of mind that something, when we're uncomfortable, we need something to fix that problem, and that'll make it go away, right? But really, this is just an amplification of our need to eat food, right? We do need to go out and get food. But we don't need to get a whole lot more than that. But anyways, this is how meditation works. We sit quietly and we listen to the peacefulness that's around us. And after a while, we begin, even when the mind is not peaceful, we begin to say, we're not too worried about that because we're surrounded by peace, right? We're surrounded by peace, listening to a mind that is not at peace. We're in a peaceful world, listening to a conflicted mind. See how quiet that becomes? Instead of living in this conflicted thinking world and seeing the whole world through that conflicted mind, through meditation and through listening to how quiet it is, we can listen to the environment around us. But I got my little dog here, by the way. She's been meditating with me right here since you were born, basically. But anyways, we begin to realize how quiet the world really is, and that the conflict is simply in the way that we think. And we begin to see differently, see more clearly again. Because this is not the world. This is the world. All around us is the world. This is how we are reacting to the world, right? We react to the world, it puts us into the past. Sometimes it puts us into the future, right? You know, it causes all these fears and anxieties. These aren't real. This is the real world. This is our reaction to the real world. It's an imagination in a sense. And we have highly active imaginations, right? So, you know, people who have high anxiety you can help them to realize that this is the world, and this world is quiet. The anxiety up here, the anxiety is it's imagined. It's like an imagination, right? We're good at imagining, right? And but not to take it too seriously. And when we begin to realize that this is the world and not this is the world, then we also begin to realize that this is the life that we were given. Not this conflicted mind, you know, that is always reacting to things, you know. This is the world. This is the life that we live. And that we live a shared life. We live a shared life with our neighbors. We lived a shared life with our pets and with our belongings, right? And that this is the life that we were given. And that this is the life that we should protect. This is the life that we should foster. This is the life that we should help build, right? Not this life, not only this life, right? If we only build this life, this is, you know, it's too small a way of thinking, right? I remember one of my teachers, the Buddhist teachers, I used to say, you know, when I was in this way of being this self, still caught in the self, he would say, you are a root. And I thought he meant it like I was small. I guess I'm just a root, you know, where he's a plant, right? And but he said, no. He says you're a root. In your mind, the way you think, you are a root. But he says all of this around you, this great huge existence, he says this is the universe. This is the universe, right? It's all one thing, right? And he says, so you are like the root of a huge plant. All this thing around you is you as well. It's not something to be scared of, right? And I said, well, what do you mean? What do you mean? And he says, you are the universe. He says, you may say that you are Greg, you may say that you are human. He says, these are things that we thought up. We came from Stone Age. We had no words, right? We made them up. But he says it was our way of understanding things, right? But now we have forgotten. He says that we simply exist. We exist in the universe. We came from a universe where we did not exist. as did the planets, as did all these things. And the planets came into existence, life sprung up from those planets, that we are all product of the universe. This energy that's moving about, right? And that as a product of this universe, we have the lucky or the joy of becoming self-aware and be able to look at the universe. But in actuality, we are the universe looking at itself, right? And that this is the thing that we must care for. Not just this, not just this. That is why, I often talk about food or sleep or simple life, because if we end our neediness at those things, then we can use our energy to help heal this planet, to help heal this universe, to help heal this world, right? Which is really us. We're actually investing in our life by investing in this life instead of this life, which is too small a way of thinking. We may think like a root, but that's only because our minds think like a root. The mind is not just a root. It is a root connected to a branch, connected to a huge tree, connected to leaves and all these fruits and all these things. We are interconnected in that way, that the mind limits the way that we think, but it does not need to limit the way that we think. By using meditation, we can examine these things. But anyways, I just want to talk about that for some reason. I think it's very important to realize that life is being given to us one moment at a time. And it's a moment of peace. It's quiet. When we stop being agitated and listen, it's always peaceful. Life gives us minute by minute, a minute of peace, another minute of peace, and another minute of peace. And what we do with that peace is kind of disgraceful, right? Right? We are agitated. We hate our neighbors. We're mad about this. We don't like that. We're short-tempered. We treat each other terribly. We take that moment, each moment of peace that the universe gives us, and we harm the universe. We harm the life around us. And this is something that we do not because we are terrible, but because we don't see it very clearly. But when we do see it clearly, we see this, that we should keep our needs simple so that our energies can be focused outward to help this life become healthy. And then by doing that, our lives will be healthier for it, and the planet will survive. It's simple, but it's what love would prescribe. But anyways, again, I'm talking too much. Thanks again. Please subscribe or list any questions below, and I'd be more than happy to talk to you. Thanks again, and namaste.